Now entering Nerdist.com.
Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show.
Here we go.
Here we go.
We're
it's
here.
happening.
We're Kyle-less.
Kyle-less.
Kyle-free.
Kyle-free.
Laugh-free.
Exactly. We're just going to have to be supportive.
Context-free.
Right. We won't be able to. We don't have a resident millennial for us to ask anything about. It's. I think it's because we were both, because we heard Meltdown was closing.
Yeah.
And so we're like, oh, is it closed? No, it's going to take a week. It's going to take a couple of weeks. And then supposedly we're going to move to the Burbank location, and
which is near a Target, which is open till midnight.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's always handy.
Always handy to have a Target nearby.
However, the loss of Meltdown is horrific.
It's real.
It's
That's
awful.
real.
It reminds me of when the Holy City Zoo closed in San Francisco.
Oh,
You're
right.
just like, oh, it's not just a club closing; it's a culture closing. It's
And
a
a
kind
group.
of comic. It's a people that go there and support each other there, and it's a sort of comedy that's encouraged there, and
Yeah.
it's a destination for comics in other cities that are like, I want, it's a whole bunch of stuff that it means a whole lot to a lot of people.
All the young comics who came up there are just probably as devastated as...
It's when it's your first scene,
Yeah.
you want it all to stay open forever. So you can go
Right.
home and go back and work there.
I want to bronze those baby booties. And,
Exactly.
like that, yeah.
And so to not have that for so many people that are starting now or like
Right, they're
are
just
10
gonna-
years in or something,
Right.
it sucks. It's awful.
Because it's been there for 10 years. I think.
Has it?
I think, I can't remember when Jonah and Kumail took it over from, oh, damn it, what's her name? It isn't fair. Jonah did it initially with this woman, Linda Pine.
Okay.
And then it went to Jonah and Kumail doing it together
Yeah.
with Emily.
Right.
And that had to be at least 6 or 8 years ago.
Right. But how long has a comic book store been
Oh, the
there?
comic book store's been there for 25 years.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and now it's
it's
going
a
to be
rent
condos.
thing, right?
Yeah,
It's going to be condos?
Yeah, they're knocking it down to turn it into condos instead of affordable housing, which is what Los Angeles desperado needs.
It's so, oh my God. The first house my parents owned, in Walnut Creek, what they bought, it was an unincorporated area. It wasn't technically in Walnut Creek, it was in the county.
Oh, right.
And they used some loopholes to just destroy the entire neighborhood, including a multi-100-year-old oak tree that was supposedly a heritage tree to put up. They were going to say it was affordable housing, and it was, exactly that, shitty condos. And whenever I go up there and I drive by it, I'm like, it just feels like a punch in the stomach. And I mean, it's bad enough if they turned it into a banana republic, but at least you could walk in and go, wow, where those vests were was when I tried this joke I did on Conan.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: is all the new condos have these ground floor storefronts,
Right.
So maybe it'll have ground floor Banana Republic. Remember,
and we could tag it.
were you here when it's? I think it's where Jones is in Formosa, Santa Monica. Do you know the street where Formosa is?
I don't.
Okay, whatever. When I first moved here 1 million years ago, it was a nice, dingy, dirtbag kind of neighborhood with a Trader Joe's with a lot of parking. It was like a unicorn. Mm-hmm. And now it's turned into sort of like a Mendocino Farms.
Oh, I know that area. Yeah, I've seen
it's
that.
like it's 1,000 sort of artisanal, boutique-y sandwich shops and coffee places, and I always go around and I'm like, this is the last place I saw Phil Hartman's wife. Was 2 weeks before she killed Phil Hartman.
No.
Mm-hmm. And herself. And she had just got.
She was shopping at Trader Joe's.
Rehab. No, she came to a show with my then manager, and my then manager was bragging about how she had picked her up at rehab and was taking her out drinking.
Really?
Yes.
I want names.
Well, names can happen, but they can be written down. I
haven't heard of that person.
Oh, there you go.
She's still in the business?
Yep. It's
Is that an actor?
He's a comic.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I only have management that's married to comedians. It's one of my rules.
That's right. You've done it a couple times.
I don't know why that's the rule of thumb, but it is not Melanie Truitt, who is a gem and a lovely person and married to Brian Posehn.
Right, it's a different.
Who is also a delight. The people that I've written
It
down.
doesn't take people from rehab to a bar.
Right, which, whatever. It was a terrible choice on her part. But it was the last place I saw Mrs. Hartman. Should I? I can't remember her name.
I guess so. They had kids. Ugh, God.
I know. The kids are in Wisconsin now.
Really?
Yeah. Cause she
Being
was,
raised by.
Cousins.
Wow.
Yeah. They're probably raised now.
Yeah.
Because that was had to be 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
God.
Okay, so in happier news,
Yeah.
I did a set at the Improv Lab the other night.
Wow, way to flip it to your career.
Yeah.
A devastation for 2 children, and we go right into Jackie's latest set at the Improv.
Latest
guys.
set at the Improv, you guys, full of rage. It's
called Pivot.
Full of rage.
Yeah.
I'm just using you as a pick to talk about my career, and so essentially it was Amy Miller and Lydia Popovich, who I think were both comics of the week.
Yes.
And they are it was their show
At
at the lab.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I think I've done that
Doors
show.
Down.
I think I've done that show.
Yeah, it's a monthly at the lab. It's really fun.
Yeah.
And so it was them, and then Carmen Morales got up first. Lydia and Amy just riffed essentially for 10 minutes about clothes to wear when you're fat and tits. And I'm not even kidding.
Are you able to riff on stage with another comic?
This is as close to me riffing with another comic publicly that I am able to do.
Oh, so it would be like this on stage?
It would
no,
probably.
thank you, folks.
This is as close as it would be. And
I find it difficult, but I think because I've been a solo performer for so long, I'm not flexible.
You're a hermit.
Yes,
Yeah,
I am not. I can't stretch that way.
Yeah.
But I think like these guys, these younger guys, are a little more fluid. They're not gender fluid. They're comedy stage fluid.
They're comedy fluid.
They can work with people and work. They identify as solo and are they called partial or double? I don't know. But I tried to do. One time, Ross Bennett and I were like. We tried to do double act, and we just tried it once at One Liners, which was this club that Dave Wilson used to own in Indianapolis, actually in Greenville, Indiana, which was later learned the home of the KKK.
Yes,
not shocking when you recall what the audience looked like. Now, and it famously had. In the roof of the comedy club, it was part of like a nightclub complex.
Yeah.
There was a plane it looked like the plane had crashed into it. So there was half a plane sticking out of it.
Like a Fry's?
Yeah, and later like a 9/11.
Okay.
But here's my point. Now, the club's not open anymore. But so Ross, we kind of like split our closer. He split up his closer where I did part of it and then he did part of it. Just kind of
weird. What year is this?
92, 95,
Early 90s.
something like that. And it was, we were both angry afterwards.
Why wouldn't you be? First of all, why'd you split his closer?
He was the headliner.
Exactly, but I got rage.
Yeah, I did a half hour, got brought back up on stage to share his closer.
In the first year of stand-up comedy, when I first went to the Comedy Cellar in Madison, Wisconsin, we would close every show with improv. Terrible improv. Short form, 185 blanks walk into a bar. Give me something for the word blank. Lawyers.
No.
And then puns would ensue, and the whole thing was a disaster.
Right.
Anyway, and we'd play freeze tag, and there'd be these other horrible games. And there were 5 or 6 of us, and raging egomaniacs. I mean, I was a budding egomaniac.
So these are all stand-ups doing this?
Yeah.
The worst. There's no worse improviser than a stand-up comic.
It was in 1984. I can think of nobody worse.
Right.
And it was a terrible
especially
idea.
a new stand-up comic.
Right. It was a
You're
terrible
fighting
idea.
so hard for your own voice. The fact that you'd hear another voice on stage makes you want to stab them.
Right. So, and the other times I've worked with improv, like I did a panel once, and I realized probably 5 or 10 minutes into the panel that everybody else was improv and I was the only stand-up, and I realized, I'm going to talk over all of them because they're polite and they're going to give and yes and.
You must have been so excited. You should see the gleam in your eyes right now when just having this memory of talking over people.
I literally put the microphone down in between comments so that I
didn't
would not
stop you. I know it.
It didn't. My mind's still racing. Oh, I could have riffed on that. Oh, I could have riffed on that. It was a whole lot of that. It was insanity. Anyway, so Carmen Morales gets up, does 10 minutes about pro-murder. And it was fan-fucking-tastic.
Murder across the board.
It was how women need to murder.
Yeah.
There's several women doing something comparable, and including myself. And but her 10-minute chunk is outstanding.
That's great.
And it was the entire set.
Wow.
And the audience was like, "What is happening?" And it was awesome. Followed by I forget who, and then Subda. You know Subda.
Yes. And we both forgot
How to pronounce her last name, but she's a comic of the week.
Yes.
It's Algonquin Roundtable. It is not. Anyway, it
Wait,
starts
what's
with an
Algonquin
A.
Roundtable?
The Algonquin, it's like Algolkur or something.
That's how you remember her.
That's how I remember it. It's because we remember the Algonquin
She's on the
Roundtable.
Jim Jeffries show.
Right. She's very smart, which is like the Algonquin Roundtable.
Oh, my
Hence,
God.
Whatever.
I don't want to know your
Next.
thought process ever again.
Well, you're too late, 117 episodes in. So, but hers was also full of rage.
Yes.
It was awesome. So by the time I got up, I was like, look how bad we all are. This is so, it was genuinely, it would have been an outstanding episode for anyone to see.
That's
Because it was such a great show. Did you go up last week?
I did, okay, so I was in Portland last week. I flew up on Friday night, and I rented a hotel at the airport.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God! So I fly in. It's like midnight. I'm tired, right? My phone's dead, and so I got a taxi. And I just wanted to go to the hotel airport, and he started yelling at me because it wasn't far away. And apparently, he's like, "I've been waiting in line for hours," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, but I can't." The taxi
artificially
industry, I can't handle your problems.
Right.
Do you want to take me or not? I go, I'll get out. He goes, no, I can't. So like he had to take me, And it was a $14 fare, and I gave him $25.
Right, you tipped him as much as you possibly could.
But he was yelling at me, and I was yelling at him back. And I'm like, oh, I'll use a Lift next time. Trust me, I'll never take a cab in Portland again.
Congratulations, you've just destroyed the taxi industry yourself, sir. So,
well, are they getting subsidized by the cities? I mean,
who, the Lyft or the
cabs?
taxi? I don't.
Are they just sitting there at the airport? I mean, they must be getting subsidized because
I don't
otherwise
think they're getting subsidized. It's literally that they had to organize.
Do they make minimum wage?
No. I don't know how the taxi cab thing, but they have to stay in that line if they want to pick people up.
Right, but if they know ahead of time there's going to be one person per plane that's not using a Lyft, why would you go there? So in order to get people to want to fly to Portland, or people that don't use Lyft or Uber, or old people or whatever, the city would have to say, we need X amount of cabs at this airport, just in case, it's an airport.
Do you think that's happening?
I hope so.
No.
How can they be sitting there for hours not making a dime and then getting a $25 fare?
It's the crapshoot that is the cab industry.
Ugh. Well, why am I worrying about that?
Yeah, it's over. Anyway, so then you get to the hotel.
Oh, okay. It's a fine hotel. Hampton Inn. Again,
Ooh.
They don't have recycling units. Like, everything goes in the garbage. I'm at breakfast the next morning, and it's, everyone's got their fucking paper plates that are throwing in the garbage. It's starting to make me sick.
Yeah.
So then I went to...
you must have read an article about recycling.
I'm a recycler.
Yeah?
I'm a recycler.
You're an avid recycler?
Did you see the buckets of water on the front porch? I saved them from the shower, and I used them to water the trees. I was just tree watering before you got here.
Do you take a shower with a bucket?
Yes. No.
Okay.
It takes a while for the water to get hot. So I put a bucket in the shower, and I get the hot water, and then when it gets hot, I take the bucket out, and I save it for the next time I do this every day. That's how I water things. Here's my point. No, but
very great.
I'm not great. It just drives me nuts to see it going down the drain when it could be going on a tree.
It could be going on a tree.
And the trees eat carbon monoxide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
anyway, science.
So the Hampton Inn, it's a mess. So then, the march is that morning, Saturday morning. The one march I'd want to go to. I'm also doing radio. doing Livewire, taping it for it's an NPR show.
Yep.
So and I'm doing a set, and now I've got to pick NPR friendly material. I don't like, I haven't written that much more since Prairie Home Companion that's NPRable.
Yep.
So I'm like, I don't have the selection. There's not many new things. Not
a lot of new stuff, but you could go to the vault because I don't know who the hell.
Yeah. So I kind of did a little bit of that, but I was prepping that. So that was I wanted to go to the march, but that was, first of all, I'd have to bring my luggage to the march because I was checking out of the hotel, and I needed to go over my set, and I just needed to consolidate my energy, not spread it all over the place.
Right.
So I get to Livewire, and Gabby Dunn is the other guest, and she went to the march.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. I'm like, but I had to do a set. She didn't have to do a set.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But it was cool. It was taped in a little bar in Portland, and Luke Burbank's the host.
Yeah, I know Luke.
It's
Burbank.
weird. I've just heard his voice so often and see him in person. I was like, whoa! It's always strange to see a face when you only know the voice.
But
totally. He's a very handsome guy. I hope that didn't sound weird. Anyway, it's just whatever.
It's all working out. Yeah, it's regular features, Luke.
Yes.
Okay.
So. Regular features. That's how you compliment.
That's how I always. I'm like, everybody's got kind of regular. I was just like, unless somebody's weird looking.
So they do some book promo, some Dead People Suck promo, and then I go to my sister's, who lives in a burb.
Oh, right, of Portland.
And then she let me use her car for the rest of the weekend, saving me about $200 in Lyft. So then I had a set, or I was doing one show at Curious, and it was pretty sold out. You were either sold out or you're not. It wasn't sold out, but it was pretty full. Yeah, like I just got the numbers, and it was I more than made up for all my costs, and I'll come home with probably $900 on top of what I spent to go out there.
Oh, that's great.
That's not bad at all.
No, if you made $900 for the weekend, which is what after expenses,
plane and hotel and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So then. So that show's over, and then Sunday afternoon, or Sunday at 7:30, I was at Powell's bookstore,
right?
And they have a marquee out, and my name's on the marquee.
Yeah,
that was
I saw
really
the
cool.
pictures. That is really cool.
My fucking camera's not working on my iPhone, so I couldn't take a picture of it, but they did, and they sent it to me.
Yeah.
And then there was probably like 30 to 35 people at the reading. So most of the chairs were filled.
Yep.
A couple people, as soon as I started reading, popped up and ran out. I'm like, oh, you had no idea. And then I sold a bunch of books there, and then they had me sign a bunch, And,
maybe they no, I'm not going to say that. Anyway, so just why people would pop up. I was just like, maybe they had to go take care of their dads. I'll be over here.
Oh my God. Wow. Thanks for killing the momentum, Jackie. I really appreciate
that's what I'm here for. I think we've established that over the decades.
Not only did you make the right judgment and not saying it, but then you corrected that right judgment by actually saying it anyway.
Well, Kyle's not here. I blame it on the fact that there's no Kyle here. He's not here to stop me. So
then I had this is awful. So there's no late flight out of Portland to Los Angeles area at all. So I had a 6:15 flight. And
you had to do crack of dawn?
Yes. So I didn't sleep the entire night. I couldn't. All I could think of is how shitty I was going to feel the next morning, and I was up the entire time. The thing where my alarm goes off at 4:15. I'm like, oh my fucking God. It's over. This is my only opportunity to sleep, and I'm done.
Oh my God!
So I go to the airport, and we got in at 8:20. I got my car. Southwest at LAX is the first terminal.
Yep.
And there's a parking company called Park and Fly, which is across the street. Like it's literally a 2-minute walk to your car.
Okay.
So I valeted that, and I got in the car and went to work, and the valet takes down my profit to 800. Sorry,
what's going to happen? You're going to sleep when you're dead? That's crazy.
I had
because you had to work all
hard day.
That's a hard day, Monday.
And then last week, I pitched this idea. Magic Johnson wanted to do something with Conan.
Okay.
And it was an integration for DoorDash and Jack in the Box.
What's DoorDash?
It's it will bring Jack in the Box to you or any.
Oh, okay.
It's like I guess it's like Postmates. I haven't used either of them because I feel too guilty.
DoorDash is a delivery food thing.
Yes.
Clearly. Okay.
So then I usually my pitches never get, I'm pitching into
make sketches.
Yeah,
into a void.
I'm like, I'll just go back to my little corner where I write
monologue
Trump
jokes.
Okay. But I pitched that they play horse, and so that got approved. So then I got to be on the shoot, and I met Magic, and I have a crush on Magic Johnson.
That's fun.
Yeah, he's super nice, very charismatic,
and then
very friendly, good laugher. He's the guy you want on the front row.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
super supportive.
Yes.
So Erin Jackson did Conan last week.
Oh, yeah, she
Anybody
did great.
else?
JC Chasen.
Okay.
Yeah, he taped it, and it's going to air on another date because I think the show went
Scheduling
long
or-
or something
Okay.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And
but they both did great.
They both did.
Yeah.
They both did great because I saw Erin's set. And Erin's set was really fun. And I remember she closes on this joke about how she didn't know you could break up bananas and just buy two.
Oh, I know that one.
And I remember
That's
when
so
she
great.
discovered that.
Really?
It was like 2 years ago. She was like,
No.
"Hey, you guys! Somebody told me you could like on Facebook. She
Oh
just
my
put a
God,
post
that's hilarious.
that I could just take 2 or 3 bananas off of the banana thing, and I could just buy how many bananas I want to eat." And that was like 400
Oh
things.
my God.
Oh my God! You could just to buy the bananas you need, and
That's hilarious. Yeah, that was great.
it was so funny that it turned into her closer.
Yeah.
So
she looked beautiful too.
yeah.
She also, it's funny, she had a very if we know the comics, we'll say
Yeah.
hi to them. But everyone's got their own style. Like some comics have like 30 people in their dressing room.
Right.
You can't even.
Yeah, I'm
they can't even
completely
sit.
solo. I
But
make
she just
Andy
had,
go away.
She had a very small crew with her, and the door was shut. And she was like, I could tell she was like in the zone, man.
Yeah. Oh,
She's
so you
like,
didn't
hey,
wanna-
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's other people who are like, we'll talk to you until their set starts, practically.
Right, I want to be
Depending-
that person.
I know.
I totally
I
want to
can't
just
believe
be.
you're not, quite frankly.
Quite frankly, if I did television more often, I think I
Yeah.
could be that person.
Yeah.
But right now, it's too new, and so I get a little too nervous about it.
That's true. You know what? And also, there's a lot of pressure on a set versus a sit down. Like,
Yeah.
Like when we go, like Bill Burr or Tom Papa or Jim Gaffigan,
because
they're
they do
like,
panel.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
They'll chat for.
You're like, I am still at work. I can't
I
actually
gotta
talk
go.
to you.
Do you mind? I gotta go.
Yeah, fair enough. So I was in Vermont
Oh yeah.
over the weekend, and the Vermont Comedy Club. Such an adorable town, such a great club. Seats 160,
Burlington.
Vermont, 160. Really well run, Nathan and Natalie. And here's the only weird thing is they asked me, they were one of the first people to ever ask me, do you want anybody to feature for you? And I said, there's all kinds of comics in New York that
Yeah.
I never get to see. So Joyelle Johnson comes, and I was like, well, what about Joyelle Johnson? And I gave them a bunch of names.
Yeah,
Joyelle responded first, or they knew her because she had just done Seth Meyers.
Yeah, yeah.
And she came, and here's what I have to ask, because the thing is, she was totally in, but she
Yeah.
took the Greyhound.
Wow. How long did that take?
10 hours.
Judas.
Yeah. Oh my God. And then like I don't know what it paid for the week. And I just remember when
That's the thing when you're asking someone to feature, it's like, what are they doing to you?
and they don't put up the features. They've only been open 2.5, 3 years. So she was staying with another comic in Burlington. Wow. So she found a place to stay. She took the Greyhound. She did 5 shows with me. We knocked out a short version of the Dork Forest. I did a live Dork Forest as well. But the thing with this local guy, then but so literally as I go forward, I have to do things. I think I have to say, hey, what do you pay the feature? Do you put them up? Because I know when Maria first started bringing me on the road,
right.
It was probably 2001, and we would share a room, just get a room with 2 beds, and just share a room. Maria Bamford is a better person than I am. I
would never.
I don't
oh my God.
want
No.
to share a room with anyone.
No.
And
no.
so, and if she could, she would bump me some money, or she would pay me out of her money. But it wasn't a lot of money.
Yeah.
And she would bring me when she could, and when she couldn't, if she couldn't afford it, she'd just power through it and suck it up, and do it by herself. And it wasn't as fun, or she would have some anxiety, whatever. But and she figured out how to do it like we all do. And so I bumped Joyelle some money because I also felt bad that I was unwilling to share my hotel room with her.
Wow.
But she had amazing
set the bar
sets.
way too fucking high.
Oh my God, so high.
She's ruined you.
She has. First of all,
Luckily,
taught
I've
me
been
about
treated by like shit by a lot of people, so
right.
there's no
Well,
bar here.
Yes, and I know people who don't pay their openers. Like I know people who do. Like I think it was
Wait,
Ginny
you mean
Yashere.
pay in addition to at the club? Yeah.
Like I go out with Brian Regan, and Live Nation pays that, but he sets it, and I think it's part of his take, and so that's a set thing that Live Nation pays for, and they pay for the hotel and the air.
See, that's a disincentive to bring someone on the road, because I don't want to feel like I'm costing someone money. You know what I mean?
Well, they have to choose to bring you. I mean, the thing is I also heard about Live Nation is asking people if they're willing to come from New York to open for different people, right?
Yeah.
It's
oh, okay.
No hotel. 5-hour drive from New York
To where? To various locations.
Various locations to open for that guy.
And no hotel?
No hotel, and $250 a night.
What?
A show. Yeah, and no travel.
What? But that he's playing theaters, right?
Right. There's plenty of money there.
Whoa.
Right. So Maria has definitely set the bar. Maria, essentially, you know how like you think you know how to share?
Yeah.
And then you meet someone who actually shares.
Like Jane Edith Wilson.
Yes.
I'm like, I think I'm oh, never mind. I'm a total asshole. I had no idea.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm a jerk compared to this. So not only does Maria has taught me how to share, also the opportunity to do Joke Machine and to work and to write and to watch Maria Bamford for the last 15, 17 years is amazing.
Yes.
And so, like, even now, she's been bringing me on every single gig.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that okay? And she's like, some of these upcoming gigs, she just texted me yesterday. She's like, some of these upcoming gigs actually don't pay very well. Would it be okay? Would it be okay if I don't bring you? Yes, it would. Like where you make a living from your career. Yeah, yes, please. But I appreciate. I mean, good Lord. Plus, I'm so fucking exhausted.
Dude, I would like to
traveling. I would like to lie down.
Crazy person.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it'll be fine if I sadly. So I'm not going to go on a couple of dates with her in the next upcoming. I'm not going to be with her in Portland, Maine.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be with her in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I thought I was going to.
Brutal travel days, honestly. Portland, Maine?
Yeah.
Where do you
How
fly
do you fly?
into? You fly into JFK
Boston?
and then another, ugh.
Who knows? You got to drive an hour.
I mean, it's okay if you could book like 3 weeks out there. So one of the cross country flights is worth something. But I mean, that's just for one night, right? 1 or 2 nights.
Right.
Yikes.
So yeah, it is pretty brutal. But but it did make me laugh because I was like, no, so I laughed, and then all day today I've been like, what if she stops bringing me entire? And I was like,
of course, yes. That's
it's going to
natural.
be fine anyway.
Yeah.
Because for 20 years you booked yourself, you banana head. Just go look for work.
Yeah, I know.
You can
that's
do it.
That's a natural feeling. Don't worry.
Okay, that's what Andy said. I was like, it's going to be fine, right? He's like, oh my God, it's going to be fine. And he said, and we've pared down our nut to something enormously manageable. Like, I don't know what your
Did you guys
monthly
refi or something?
About a year. Yeah, he did. It's his house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mine now too, but I mean, he bought it. But he was like, I'm going to refi. He said that like it was right before the election, and I was like, why don't we just run? No, I did not. Anyway, but it's 2.6%.
God.
Which is insane.
I should have done that.
It was because you're sitting in this beautiful home for a greater amount possibly, but it's in a fancier. Look at the flowers. Anyway, so and but our the nut I spent a fair amount of my time trying to save 10% of everything given to me.
Right.
And so we're fine. I mean, it's totally going to be fine. But I did spend the day having small bouts of, well, I guess I'm not. I guess I won't be doing stand-up comedy anymore. I don't know. I guess I'll have to get a day job at Walmart or whatever. It's completely insane.
I know.
My old day job had a horrible thing happen.
Right.
They referred to, the cellist kid who was murdered?
Oh, at Parkland?
God damn it! Too many people have been murdered.
No.
It wasn't Parkland.
No. It was in Austin. That's
was
the
that
kid
was one of the bomb kids.
Yes.
So, I used to work at a closed captioning company,
Right.
And
that's your old.
that's my old. Yeah.
What happened?
Well, here's the thing: it was live captioning. Live captioning is very different than post-production captioning.
Right.
They use either a stenographer situation, like a court reporter machine kind of situation, or the newest thing is voice to text.
Yeah.
And where they repeat the words into the like they say something, and for some reason they just check it. They're supposed to check it. So, to my knowledge, this was voice. Because I only have one friend who still works there, and she wasn't available. I didn't ask her because I didn't want to put her in a weird position to tell me things. And but literally, this young man was what the line was supposed to be, and it came off on the captioning as "this monkey," which is not okay. I don't know if everybody's aware of the historical ramifications of referring to people as monkeys. There's just Darwin, and then those assholes don't even believe in Darwin. So
Awful.
It's just awful. And so, and the weird thing is it was a local ABC News affiliate.
Wow.
And I'll say the company. It doesn't. What are they going to fire me? Vitech.
They might not hire you.
They might not.
You
exactly.
have to keep your options
I
open.
got to keep my options open.
What do you? I always think of potential day jobs. 'Cause
Yeah.
I know that
Okay.
day will be coming. I think Facebook needs, definitely Facebook. They need
Friendster.
to hire comedians
Yep.
to go to sift through stuff that people are saying are jokes, right?
Oh.
Because Marsha Belsky,
Yeah.
has she has this Twitter. I think it's something about Facebook because they keep blocking her out. She makes jokes about men, and they say that
okay.
it's sexism or whatever, or hate speech.
It's hate speech. That's what they
but
say
they're
because
just jokes.
But they're jokes, and they're comparable to what other people say about
and
women.
Like you need comedians to go. No, that's a joke.
Right.
That's
And
a joke. That's a joke.
That isn't a funny joke, but it is indeed a joke.
This is hate speech, and that's a joke.
Right. Right.
They need humans. They
Yeah.
need human eyes, and we could do it.
Yep.
I'm saying we should pitch ourselves to Facebook as road censors, right? We're on the road.
Right.
We will just.
Oh my God, it
you
could be
give us
a
a bunch of
remote
posts,
job.
and we'll just look through them and say, "This is good. This is bad."
Right. We're
Mostly
online
it's-
anyway.
Yes.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't blame you. Hey, we're at 30. We could do Comic of the Week.
Oh yay!
Which, oddly enough, is Joyelle Johnson. I was like, hey, I don't think Joyelle's ever been a Comic of the Week, though. I think I've mentioned her before.
She was on the show when I headlined at the Stand for, and I had no voice left. She was
wow.
hosting at the Stand. It was cool. It was an all-female show, I think.
She was so funny. She opened for me all weekend, and
She's very funny.
she's just a great. And I got to see her do 25s, and it was just awesome.
Cool.
She just did Seth Meyers, Joyelle Johnson. It's at Joyelle Nicole, and
Joyelle.
Yep, and ICOLE. So
Cool.
At Joyelle Nicole, and
Yep, very funny.
she's really funny, and you guys should go find her. Anyway,
All right.
this week I'm just in town until I go to Waukegan with the. Wait, no, I'm totally in town. I will have been to Waukegan when this goes up.
Okay, so I'm going to San Francisco tomorrow. Okay, so here's the thing. So the gig was supposed to be Wednesday through Saturday, and I didn't tell my booking agent I had this week open, but she's like, "Hey, what do you think? You guys are going on vacation next week. Do you think maybe?" And I said, "I think I could do a Thursday, Friday, Saturday."
Yeah.
And so they brought somebody else in for tonight's show. We're taping this on Wednesday, so tomorrow. And I didn't. I think I told you I bought a ton of plane tickets for this gig because I didn't know if we'd be going to work.
Okay.
So I bought tickets for Friday. I bought a 6 a.m. flight home, or back to
right, 'cause you might have to fly
like a 5 p.m. flight back.
Yes, I do remember
So
that.
it turns out we don't have to go on Friday. So those
Okay.
now I bought them on Southwest. So Southwest just lets you
They
put
just
it into
credit.
a bank,
Yeah.
so you don't lose money. So
That's
I can't.
great.
It's all. I'll just spend it in a month. So now we're going in tomorrow. So I have 2 plane tickets for tomorrow. I have one at 1:45, and then I bought another one at 5. I think 5:45 or something like that.
So will you know by noon?
Well, you know what? I want to go. Should I ask? Because I have a couple things in 2 weeks where I might have to leave, not work early, but just like, like I'm going to do the Dr. Drew podcast.
Okay.
And it tapes at 7. So I'd have to be gone at 6:30. Well, sometimes we stay till 7:30. So I have a couple things where I'd have to ask to not stay as long as everyone's staying.
Yeah.
Now, do I want to throw another one on there when I
Right.
could take the 5:30 or whatever flight, land at SFO at 6:45, and then just go right off the
directly.
plane right to the club
Yeah.
because it's an 8 p.m. show tomorrow.
Yeah,
I mean-
I say just go to the club.
Yeah. The other option, I was just looking when you came in
Yeah.
here, there's a 3 p.m. flight
Ooh.
that goes from Burbank to Oakland.
Oh, right.
And I could just like take Bart over to San Francisco. That'd be pretty easy. And then if we have a short day, if we get out at 2, I'll just put all my stuff in the car and drive right over to Burbank and get on the plane.
Yeah.
And the thing with Burbank is like it's such a small airport.
Yeah.
And it's 10 minutes from work, and you can valet. It costs like $6 extra a day.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, if you're trying to time this stuff and work it perfectly, it's
Right.
worth it.
Right.
Normally, it would just take a cab. It's like $10, but
Yeah. So that's
Anyway,
you will have done San Francisco when this goes up, right?
Yes. But I've never been more stressed about
But
flights
trying to
figure out when
and owning
and
like 6 flights. It's almost like you bought stock in the.
I basically did. I just have to remember to cancel. Oh my god, I got to cancel. I have to cancel them before the flight takes off.
Yeah,
or
you
else
do.
I'll-
Otherwise, you
I'll
forfeit.
pay for it. Yeah.
I'm flying
Stressed.
tomorrow to
Yeah.
Phoenix, and am
You
doing.
can't get enough of Arizona.
Me and Arizona really need to chitter chat. I'm doing the Bird Comedy Festival.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's with Genevieve Rice's comedy festival and it should be fun. Like I'm doing a show with Marcela Arguello, whose name I can now say months later with it just trips right off, and Brandy Posey.
I think there was a little blip there. Arguello.
Arguello?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you hit the
Brandy,
the U.
Marcella, and are going to open for me.
Oh, Posey. Oh, cool.
Yeah, Posey. Yeah, and that'll be super fun. And my friend Steve Mandel's going to do a set too. Short
right
set.
on.
But and then I'm going to do a live Dork Forest with Maggie May,
Cool.
and I'm going to. I don't know if she's been a comic of the week. Anyway, I'll check.
She has.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but Brandy and Marcella have. I know.
Yeah.
And then I'm also doing a couple of themed. Like I'm doing the Boast Rattle. Did I tell you about that?
Yeah.
It's like roast battle, but nice. And I'll have to work on it. No, it's it should be fun. I thought, and then I'm coming back on Sunday, and I don't know. I'm hoping to just stay home for a little bit. I had a Becky Homecki kind of day when I got back. Last
Becky
Sunday.
Homecki.
It means that I just spent the day nesting around the house. Like I made too much food.
You
I
must
made,
not have a mom around your house.
Well, I made a potato leek soup, which my sister was like, that box soup from Trader Joe's is really good. And I said, I know, but I need to chop up leeks and get the immersion blender out. So
Wow.
So I made.
I don't know what you're saying right now.
I'm saying that I made a potato leek soup, and then I also made.
What's an immersion blender?
Oh, it's the wand thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's just a stick of blender.
I see.
That you stick in a thing.
I've seen those things.
You've seen it. And then I also made this pork goulash thing with bell peppers.
So I did a set at the tavern, the Sycamore Tavern.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
It used to be something else, but it's a really old building in LA.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even know there was it has its own parking lot, which is no gig has a parking lot anymore.
That's awesome.
And but it was cool because Whitney Cummings was there. And
Yeah.
she's done a couple shows I've been on recently.
Yeah.
She's executive producer of the Roseanne reboot.
No.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking awesome.
That's good. Good for her.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm so sorry that she has to work with those people, but Roseanne blocked me. long time ago.
Oh,
Remember?
really?
Remember when she blocked me and I told you the story because
Yeah.
it was my fault. I tagged her in a snarky comment about her politics.
Yeah.
Little did I know she was running her own Twitter feed. I didn't think she was running her own Twitter feed. And and she made some mean comment at me and then blocked me. And
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So she's always been crazy. She has.
yeah. I mean, I met her in '89.
It was contained, for a little while, and then after her show.
Oh, she's always been batshit and rude.
Yeah. Oh,
But,
really?
yeah.
I've never met her. I just know.
I've met her probably twice.
Okay.
And because she's from Iowa, and she was a Minneapolis comic in the late '80s, early '90s.
Isn't that where she met Tom Arnold?
Yeah.
Were you ever engaged to Tom Arnold?
I was never.
It seems like he got around a lot.
Somebody said Tom Arnold was right about her, and I was like, let's not go there, because Tom Arnold is a disaster as well.
Yeah.
And just like I remember one night I might have told this story already on here, but they came down to the club. She had just gotten a plastic surgery. I don't know which one, but
Yeah.
And so she had like a big thing on her nose, and
She went to a club.
yeah, and Scott Hansen asked her to do a set because Scott.
Oh, this is before she got famous.
yeah,
Oh, I didn't know
or
that.
maybe right after doing the Tonight Show, but
Oh,
before
okay,
the show
okay.
was huge.
Okay.
And so it was probably 90, 91.
Okay.
And Tom Arnold went up instead, and then he was like, maybe I can get her to come up, because he wasn't funny at all. And he said, sometimes I can get her to come into the car if I give her a piece of chocolate.
Oh my god.
And you're like, I want to kill you.
You guys,
And
they're both gross.
You're both so gross. And so she's just, I mean, and she's never been for me, right? Some people love, and it's not that she hasn't said funny things. I think she has, but I never got into the sitcom. And her stand-up was just hit and miss a little bit for me, and I just didn't really like it. And somebody posted a thing, and he listens to the show, Mike. Anyway, but he posted a thing because I said that I never watched the show, and I don't have to watch the new one. And he said, well, you and Laurie are always talking about supporting other women comics. And I was like, not ones I don't think are funny. I'm never going to support a comic I don't think is funny. I'm going to support assholes that are funny more than I'm going to support someone who isn't funny and is really nice. Sadly.
I haven't watched the first one yet. It just aired last night. But
Right.
in fact, I'll probably watch it after this while I'm waiting for my son to come back. But two female comics are working on it. Morgan Murphy is a writer on it, and Whitney Cummings is executive producer. So,
Right.
Right.
Well, and I love Morgan Murphy, and Whitney Cummings, I don't know her, but she's made me laugh out loud. And so, I mean, I'm glad there's work.
Oh my God! At the tavern, you know how I was saying I have a joke. I think everyone's going to be doing a joke like that because it involves a thing we all. She had a flip side joke of it, version of it where hers could follow mine, but I couldn't follow hers because mine relies a little bit on surprise.
Yep.
And hers mentions the surprise when she's talking about it in a roundabout way.
Did she go up first?
She went up after me.
Oh, good.
Just hung out and watched. I was like, oh no, and I was like, all right, they're different jokes, but sometimes you watch a show like
I forget the topic. What was the topic?
Uber, or someone get in your car.
Oh, the Uber
because
thing.
they
Yeah,
think you're an Uber.
Oh yeah.
Or in her case, she was talking about getting in someone's car and just the craziness of getting in a stranger's
In the wrong car.
Yes, yeah. Or just getting in anyone's car. Like, what? So whatever. But there's jokes I have where the part of the punchline is a surprise, and so if somebody says that word or talks about the topic, then my punchline, like I used to do this joke. Well, I always do there's never I used to do joke.
This joke is not in rotation at this time.
But it'll come back as it's been 8 months since the baby. I haven't dropped a pound of my abortion weight. Right?
Oh, there you go. Right.
So that would kill if no one had mentioned abortion.
Right.
But if I'm following 5 comics that have abortion jokes, then it's like, oh, you're number 6.
Right. Well, I couldn't do my murder joke because I followed Carmen's murder chunk.
Oh.
That was so much. I mean, it was just a different perspective, and it was so wonderfully full of rage.
Yeah.
That I'm like, nah, I can do it another night. I can work on that joke another night because it all needs work.
Is that my phone? I'm just going to make
It might
sure.
be mine.
Wait a minute. Wait, no. Oh, my phone's right here.
Yeah, it's my phone.
It's not. Are you? Do you want to check to make sure
No,
everyone's
I don't have any
alive?
kids.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right.
So,
Is this person ever going to hang up? That's my second question.
well, it's interesting. Maybe it's the alarm.
Oh my God! Yeah, we can't take that for. How long have we?
15 minutes.
Okay. Oh, good. We're almost done.
Yeah. We're doing great.
This is
In other news,
probably our best work right now.
well, it could also be.
Did it stop? It seems like it stopped.
No, it's still going.
Oh. I don't feel it in my vagina. It was actually. Oh, it was your alarm. Okay.
Yeah.
But it was shaking the whole house.
Right. It felt like.
Okay.
I'm going to probably clean that up at minute 44 here. Okay, so
Yeah, I don't think you have to.
you think you just leave it?
Yeah, just leave it.
All right.
I was fucking entertaining while you were taking care of
When
business.
you stood away, well, I was you walked away. I was the one who had to be entertaining, and then I walked away, and you had to be entertaining.
I don't know
so.
why we don't share the stage. I don't understand.
I did share the stage one time not long ago with Augie Smith. It was supposed to be a best friends thing.
Yeah.
And Augie Smith spent the entire time going, "Are we best friends? What's happening?"
I know. I did that with Cheryl, my friend Cheryl, and we had
You are best
surprisingly
friends.
few stories considering we're best friends.
Right, considering that you have been friends for these many
Yes.
decades.
I'm going to be in Lake Tahoe this weekend. I don't know if any of our listeners are in the Reno area.
Oh, the Reno,
But that's
Lake
another
Tahoe.
thing where I got some crazy. I'm going to fly into Sacramento, rent a car on
And
Wednesday.
drive to Tahoe?
Drive to Tahoe.
Okay.
And then on Sunday night, because there's a Sunday show and I have to be at work on Monday morning at 9:30, I'm going to drive back to
'cause it has a red
Sacramento
eye.
and then stay in a hotel and take a super early flight.
Wow.
And do it again.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll probably be up all night again.
Because you'll be scared you're going to miss it.
Yes.
Which is the hardest part of traveling if it's super early and you have to be there for some reason. It's
And
hard
I
to get
took
to
so
sleep.
much melatonin, and I was still awake. There's not, what? Someone was recommending these pot pills, THC pills called Breeze Mints, I think.
Yeah.
They say that put you to sleep pretty well.
You know
I
what
gotta
else
try
is really good?
something else.
Alka-Seltzer Plus Nighttime.
Really?
Bam!
No.
It's,
What's in it?
Probably some sedative. I don't know what's in it,
I
but
thought it was just isn't that for an upset stomach or something?
no. Alka-Seltzer nighttime cold medicine is a cold medicine.
Oh, but what if you don't have a cold?
If you don't have a cold, I assume it just. I love how it feels, so I only take it when I have a cold.
Oh, I forgot
and then-
you're a former addict. I got it.
Yes, former. Let's lean into that. And this. Yeah, I don't know. We're flying into Maria and I are flying into Milwaukee, and then
For-
driving to Waukegan, and then driving back. But we're going to stay in a hotel in Milwaukee, right by the airport, and drive to and from Waukegan because it's only an hour.
Oh yeah,
it was
you're all
either
hyped
that
up after a show anyway.
Right, and it's either that or stay at the Chicago airport and fly in and out of and drive to and from because they're both an hour, except for that Chicago is never an hour. It's always it's traffic like here.
I imagine.
So it's just different. So
But
we might as well go.
Do
to
you have a
Milwaukee.
direct flight to Milwaukee
Yeah,
from LA? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it's kind of amazing.
Delta?
I believe it's Southwest, and I have so many miles. And
On Delta or Southwest?
Both. I'm looking forward to not going anywhere. I mean, that's the weird thing about having miles because you're like, I would just like to not go anywhere.
Go to Germany this summer and let's do a podcast in Berlin.
Wow, I've been to Munich. Have you ever been to Germany?
When I was little. See
Yeah.
this dog bite on my face right here?
Nope.
Right next
What?
to my where
Okay.
my lips, where
There's
my
a small-
mouth is. There's
yeah.
a little scar. Well, it used to be huge across my whole face, and I was bit by a German Shepherd in Germany.
Well, how?
Of course, I want to return to the scene of the crime. That happened in Munich.
It's on.
A lot of
it's
bad
on
things
point.
happen in Munich, right? That
I
you
had
got
blood
the
sausage for the
72
first time.
Olympics. Come on.
Yeah, for the first time in Munich.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So,
It's all right.
Well, you should use those miles.
I will.
Use them as
I will.
soon as I get 25,000. I book the next flight on that
I have
thing.
223,000 miles.
No,
I know. I should.
you're gonna die and leave those miles unused.
Right. Well, hopefully, maybe I'll. Do you have a will?
Yes.
I need a will. You have a
can't
child.
leave miles to anybody.
You can leave miles.
No,
to
you
people.
can't.
You can give them away.
No, you can't. You when you're alive, but not when you're dead.
Oh, when you're dead,
they
they
win. You're letting them win. Get them. Get them.
Fair enough.
I'm at 22,000 on JetBlue. One more round trip, and then I get another free one. I use them immediately.
Well, Andy's got several conventions he wants to go to, so I was like, and some of them, one of them at least, is in Indianapolis, and Indianapolis is weirdly expensive to go to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And this Vermont trip, $725 to fly to Vermont, to Burlington. I don't exactly understand what had happened, but
how far is no, I know how far the drive is because I made it. It's like 6 hours.
You
from
made
New York.
the drive from New York, and so I flew from. Well, because there was a giant snowstorm, they rerouted me through Atlanta.
Oh.
And then I flew direct Atlanta to Burlington. But I was flying from JFK direct to
Wow.
in both cases, I was going to have to stop somewhere.
The ideal would be to fly into New York the day before, just chill out in New York for a night, and then drive up the next morning.
Yeah,
if you could do that.
I got to go to New York for just. I just want to check in for a week.
Keep your New York timing.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, and remind everyone I exist.
Yes.
You know, this type of thing. And so I don't know when I'm going to do it. Lady Parts Justice just emailed me today.
Yeah.
About doing.
Me too.
You too? I picked, in an ideal world, Minneapolis, Milwaukee.
I can't do any of them.
You can't
I could only do Saturday shows if they had any, but they don't have any booked.
Oh, right. And they're all sort of weekday-ish? Or
Yeah.
Because there were weeks. I have all of July.
The
open.
only weekend they have is a Sunday, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't get from Columbus to L.A.
Oh, Columbus is hard.
Yeah, if they have, I think West Coast stuff. If they have West Coast stuff, I could probably.
Yeah, they should definitely, because all of that is Midwest. And, and
then you're thinking, is it a direct flight? If it's 2 flights, there's no way I could get back. In time. You know.
Yeah. What?
I mean, I have a shot. Like if I take a 6 a.m. flight out of New York, I get back to L.A. around 8:39, and then I'm good. But it's so tight. Yeah. I don't think that they've done a West Coast run. Are they trying to do it just through red states?
Maybe.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
I mean, West Virginia.
Right. Wisconsin.
It's to people that
Minnesota's
don't have
better.
access to abortion.
Right. Just to help them, because they go to privately owned, because they do the show. Lady Parts Justice does the shows at night, and then they go to the not the Planned Parenthoods, but the privately owned women's healthcare centers.
Yeah.
That often, I think, they either often or always provide abortions as well, in addition to pap smears and mammograms and checking for Pokemon or whatever the fuck. So,
Remember when you had that very well-timed health problem?
Yes.
It was right when Pokemon just came out. And you were like the first one to have that reference about Pokemon in your uterus. That was so fucking funny.
You know, it's so
3
nice
days
that you
later, it
remember
was
that.
hacky. Yeah.
You remember that
You were
just
on top
because
of it.
of my surgery worked out so well with a well-timed joke. It's so true, though. There's nothing like having a crisis right when it's right.
Yes,
right before
it was
it goes
right at the day where
viral.
everyone knew what Pokemon. Like it took 2 days for all of the world to know what Pokemons were,
Yep.
and then 4 more days for comics to ruin as a reference, and you hit that sweet spot.
Sweet spot. Totally hit it. It's so great. We have another 7 minutes. I just want you to know.
I watched a little bit of the Ricky Gervais special.
Why would you do that to
Okay,
yourself?
I was just curious.
I know.
Everyone's complaining about it.
Right.
Yeah, I know. I always watch the ones people. If someone says it's good, I'm like, not interested. It's really funny. Who cares?
Who cares?
It sucks. I gotta watch it.
I got to see what it's like. What was it like?
So some stuff made me laugh. The stuff he talks about why he doesn't want to have kids, I thought was really funny.
Right.
But here's the thing. Okay, forget the Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
That's a different obsession I don't understand.
Yeah.
And it's also, it seems to be the point of view of quite a few male comics of like the point of view of her or trans women is, what is that? Like they're like,
right.
I don't understand.
Would I get
that
to stick my
person.
dick in it? Would I want to?
Yeah, it's this whole like
It's
trying
this-
to figure out a puzzle.
Yes.
From a often surprisingly ignorant point of view. Let's
Right.
say like that.
It's
of people that you're like, you can kind of figure it out. I know maybe you're not used to it, because
Right.
I mean, when we were growing up, there wasn't a lot of trans people that we knew about, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was Renee, that tennis player. Do you remember?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
There was a
but there's
tennis
very
player.
few, right? And it was like
Right.
one or two. And you're like, and it felt like it was such a minor, such a minority of the population. You wouldn't even say you would. It just
Yeah, what do you
wasn't
care?
on anyone's mind.
Yeah.
And so now it's not necessarily a minority. I mean, it is, but I mean, it's much more common. It just
Right.
seems like
It's
Let's
they're
all-
more visible.
let's all get on board.
They're allowing themselves to be seen more. They're
Yeah,
not trying to
and-
blend in and hide quite as much as they did when we were kids.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, look who stumbles out on
Hi, Mrs.
cue.
Kilmartin.
Hi, Mom.
So we got about 5 more minutes, but you gonna get a bev? You gonna get a beverage?
I'm just going to start quietly doing my dinner.
She's
You're gonna make a little dinner for yourself?
She has to slice baby carrots and poured vodka in a glass
It's
and make a pizza.
and make a pizza.
Yeah.
No, I'm just having half of one pizza that I've already had.
Oh, fair. Oh, you're gonna do the leftovers.
Huh?
Leftovers. The other half of the pizza.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
Oh, that's nice.
Carrots, yes.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they're good for your eyes.
We're winding down.
We're
But
close.
definitely feel free to start emptying the dishwasher now that you see there's something to interrupt.
Are you on now?
We
Yes.
are on as we speak. Would you like
Yes.
to say hello? Good for you. There's the Kilmartin timing. It was a small laugh and no. It was kind of perfect.
But he did do this thing, which I think you and I would call a clock eater,
Oh, yeah.
where he started. He talked about a joke he made about Caitlyn Jenner, and then he talked about the reaction to it, and then made fun of the reaction to it, which doesn't seem like new material to me.
Right.
And then he also responded to people's tweets that first of all, you couldn't verify it was a tweet. He would just say, this person said this, so I said,
Right.
And I mean, comics set up those scenarios all the time. The cop said this, so I said that. I mean, usually they're completely they're lies, right?
And in comedy, people always say, this person said this about me or to me.
Yes.
And grain of salt.
And then I came up with a perfect response.
Yes.
And I said it exactly when I was supposed to say it, not 10 hours later in the car when I decided to make it into a bit. So I don't know. For me,
That tweet?
No,
'Cause that tweet was amazing.
For what tweet?
The tweet you did about how he did a joke about a previous joke. He essentially talked about a previous
Yeah.
bit, and then your tweet was, "Well, then I too have a new half hour."
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
To me, like the standard is you're writing new jokes.
Yeah.
and the joke
You're gonna do a
You're
special.
advancing. You're not
Right.
going back and talking about something you already did. Comedically,
Right.
I don't know.
You can
I mean,
talk about the same topic, but feel free to write a new joke.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I guess, I don't know. I mean, his audience loved it.
Yep.
Netflix is fine with it. It counts. I just don't know what there's no USDA rating of comedy of these are jokes and this is
And that, of course, is
this
the
is
real
something
injustice.
that got laughs.
That's the true injustice, is that there
Because-
isn't.
Yeah. I don't know. It was. I just.
Yes.
I just thought, well. Plus, he's like, I haven't done it in 7 years, like a special. Like you had
You had
and
7 years
the
to
thing
write
is-
jokes.
Yes, and he had some other stuff that was really funny. So it's not like he's lost it.
Right.
He just didn't do an hour's worth.
Right.
In my opinion, he did. I hadn't watched the whole thing, but. The stuff he had about not wanting to have kids and the baby and the stillborn, it was really funny and it was really dark.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I want an hour of that.
Right.
I don't want an hour of you responding to people a joke you did on
From
another
7 years ago.
or what the Golden Globes. But
the
you know what I
Golden
mean?
Globe. Yeah.
But
I definitely I see so much stand up, so it's hard for me to say, "Oh, I'm going to turn on this." When there's so little, there's so many other things I want to watch that I'm not watching.
I know.
So, but it's I used to get him. I used to get. It's weird because he would be very offended to find out that because I watch so little televised stand up, and they're both British.
Yeah.
That I used to get him mixed up with Eddie Izzard. I'm sure he would be monumentally offended. And I remember laughing more at Eddie Izzard. I thought Eddie Izzard's first special, which I saw just by accident in a hotel room, that made me laugh a lot, where he was wearing the dress.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. And he never references, he's just, I'm dressed up. I'm doing a show. I'm going to wear this item.
I don't remember watching that. But I've seen I don't remember.
You've seen clips of it or seen images of it. Yeah, and it was. I thought that special was actually. I remember watching that and thinking it was very funny. So whenever his name came up, I would be like, "Oh, Ricky Gervais is a funny guy."
Yeah.
And then I saw him on the Golden Globes, and I was like, "Oh, he's kind of douchey."
Yeah.
He's just kind of a button pushy kind of comic.
Yeah.
And I want more. If you're going to button push, there was a lot of also. If you're going to button push, or if you're going to ask the audience, talk about a clock eater. This one is my least favorite clock eater, and I only am nice about it emotionally when it's a newer comic.
Right.
When they ask the audience if they do a thing. Hey, did you guys see this commercial?
Right.
Hey, do you guys have lunch?
Yeah.
Do you guys do a thing? Whether they do or not, you're going to tell the joke. So don't ask them unless you need to fill 30 and you can't, because that will fill an extra 15 to 20 seconds.
Oh, I see.
And you might be able to riff with the audience on that topic.
That's also if you're transitioning from a topic to another topic, and there's no
other segue.
There's no transition point. Besides, I'm not talking about baby rape anymore. Now I'm talking about an Excedrin commercial.
Right. So I got to go to this.
Have you guys seen it?
As a segue, yes, it could be for that. That's true. But I remember just thinking, no, because for me, I have so many jokes to tell that if you have a 12-minute set and you're using a valuable 40 seconds of your time asking people what they think, you're about to tell them what they think. How about you get to it? So it was just a pet peeve of mine. That
I know.
that
Your time is valuable. Who cares what the audience
chop
thinks?
Oh, the kid who featured, who emceed in Burlington, Vermont, a guy named Carl. At one point, he said the funniest. This is just anecdotal. He said the funniest thing to me when we were sitting around. I said, "I don't know why. Why would we be discussing the guillotine?" Anyway, we were discussing guillotines, and I said, "I usually say guillotine because I think saying guillotine feels a little presumptuous or kind of pretentious." And he goes, "Yeah." And he's just sitting there looking at his phone or something. He barely even looks up, and he goes, "Yeah. Do you feel pretentious when you say quesadilla?" And I was like, "Oh shit, I do not nailed it." Anyways, but it made me
Put you in your place.
Put me in my place. And he's right. He said, "What happens when someone says quesadilla? Do you think that they're dumb?" And I was like, "I do." Or they
I
just
think quesadilla is definitively there's only one pronunciation, but I think guillotine or guillotine. I think either way is.
Yeah, I think the British have always said guillotine.
I hate to say this, but I agree with you.
Oh, interesting. Let's leave it at that because we're at an hour.
Okay, bye.
Now leaving Nerdist.com.